Apologies if I sound a bit more exhausted or a little more reserved than normal right now, but I had a very busy day today at day one of my anime convention that I went to, Anime Matsuri. Hell of a time. This weekend's gonna be busy, but there's one piece of business I need to take care of before I go retire for the night. And you're looking at it right now. All in Texas. Yes, just north of me, many hours ahead, at Globe Life Field, where the Texas Rangers play in Arlington, AEW is going to host their third annual All In, their fourth overall, and their first pay per view in Texas and at a Major League Baseball stadium.
And can I note another statistic that I just learned about All
What?
In's history, or just AEW All In question?
Yeah?
The Texas market has been the third most traveled, most visited region for all Elite Wrestling in their 6.5 years existing as a company.
I'm not even
Third,
That's cool.
surprised
third
here.
most.
I'm not even
Second
surprised.
place is Canada, and number one would be the Florida area.
I'm not because Florida's their home base,
I'm
so
a
I'm
stage.
not
I know, but
surprised
they did
there.
during the pandemic for like 2 to 3 years. They were
Right,
at Daly's place, so
right.
that's why that I just read the statistic as somebody noted, and I was like, that is absolutely correct.
It was a godsend then, and it's
Yeah.
also the first All-In to be live streamed on Amazon Prime Video since AEW started letting their pay-per-views be there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the first professional wrestling event to be held at Globe Life Field.
Yep.
So pretty big
Yep.
deal.
Lots of records being broken here.
The bad news also here is
Let's just
that
hope.
this is the first
Let's just hope the first
afternoon
is
pay
good.
per view. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Stop
And
you suck.
stop it, Dean. This is not my fault. Besides, I should be out enjoying myself, which I
Yeah,
did
Like
coffee.
today.
It's not your fault. It's just your chair's fault.
Oh, you wouldn't even. Enough with the chair jokes. I told this guy beforehand that if he saw me walking around today, he
Well,
would not
let's move
believe
on.
it.
Let's move on. I just
All
wanted to make
right.
Typhon laugh.
Thank
Okay, I
you,
just want to make
not.
Typhon laugh.
Wait, is he in the chat? I don't even see
He
him.
probably is.
I don't
See,
see
now
him.
I gotta be your Typhon notification.
I
Great.
can look at the participants, and I didn't see him there. But if he comes
Well,
in,
still,
just remind
just
me.
in case.
But
Just in
yeah,
case.
this is their first afternoon pay-per-view with a start time of 2 p.m. Central, 3 Eastern, preceded by the 0-hour pre-show at 12 Central, 1 Eastern. And this is
Mm-hmm.
because of Saturday night's main event. I've already
Mm-hmm.
ranted enough about all the schedule shenanigans and crap, so I'm not going to get into it now. We have 11 matches, and I want to get through them all before the hour's done. I'm Coffee Lover 239, and with me, hopefully, this if how I think tomorrow goes off well, and they do the right thing tomorrow. Hopefully, this will be the last time I have to say this ever. The guy who misses when John Moxley didn't suck, Dean.
Hello, everyone. I'm so
Yeah, don't look directly into Teen's teeth.
I told you easy on that. Secondly, no. And that was our resident jokester and prognostic. Oh, what did you do that for?
Yes!
Did you?
Yes!
Did you really have to make
Whoa!
that?
Whoa, it's like looking at the Rock as Gibraltar, but their teeth!
Oh, stop it.
And yes, I am your prognosticator pro wrestling. I'm the peculiar voice in your head that tells you what is good wrestling and what is bad wrestling. I am Quadram, so let's go on with this actual, real, professional wrestling pay-per-view prognosticational, predictional peculiarness. Let's get on with it.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
But first, we have a little stop on the 0-hour pre-show. FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood versus the Outrunners. Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd. There's no background on Wikipedia, quite frankly, and I have to go to Fightful now, which...
Which is a frightful experience, if I may note. Frightful!
There's not even any background information.
Yeah, I know. It's just a pre-show, so don't need one.
Whatever. Dean, who you got?
FTR.
And that's what Jesse says. What say you, Kwai Jam?
I'm going to go the other direction because they are the second best thing next to the eventual. We're going to have a return Adult Castle very soon. I know you've all seen that crazy video of him coming off the Mothership Connection UFO going, "Boys, let's beat up some abdomen." So I'm going to go with the Outrunners in this one because I want to see this feud continue. I like this whole FTR Outrunners thing. I'm going to say Outrunners.
Uh, I have a feeling the heels are gonna have to get some wins
Still,
where
still, I
applicable.
say, start the show with a babyface win. You know what I mean?
I'm going with FTR, but I'm not really invested in this match. So regardless of who
Mhm.
wins, I'm not gonna care either way. I haven't been a fan of FTR since they teamed him up with Wayne Brady's evil doppelganger Stokely Hathaway. Next. Oh fuck me. Why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep doing this? Hey, TK, you listening? Listen closely. Stop trying to make Big Boom AJ happen, okay? It's not going to happen. I've been using that phrase a lot. I probably should rewatch Mean Girls since I got the 4K. But okay, anyways. So yes, Big Boom AJ and the conglomeration, hologram, because that's who we need to see, along with Kyle O'Reilly and Tomohiro Ishii. And before anyone asks, yes, his son, Big Justice, and the goddamn motherfucking sons of bitch and fucking Rizzler is gonna be there. I don't understand. And they're gonna face the Don Callis family: Hechicero, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. Again, no background on Wikipedia, and going to Fightful, where I got this neat little picture from, actually, before you ask. So, here's what happened. On this last episode of Collision here from yesterday, Big Boom brought in Big Justice and the Rizzler, saying they need some friends against the Don Callis family. And so, enter the conglomeration. Well, or at least Ishii and Hologram. Don Callis noted that there was only four of them. But then Kyle O'Reilly came in and returned to the conglomeration for one night. That's it. I don't have anything else to add. Dean?
Um, I'm trying to pronounce this way. Conglomeration.
The conglomeration
You
and.
can't say conglomeration.
I
Wow.
So he's saying Big Boom AJ and the
Call them the Congo.
conglomeration.
Just call them the Congo.
No,
That's what I
no,
would do.
no. Alright, and
Yeah.
Jesse's going with the Don Callis family. How about you, Quiet Jam?
I say balance. You if you're going to do finishes to balance out the heels and the baby faces. I picked Outrunners in the last one in the pre-show. I say I'm going to go with the Don Callis family on this one.
Well, I'm gonna go inverse and go with Big Boom AJ and the
You mean the opposite?
conglomeration. Well, they're inverse, but basically,
Still heel face opposite. So
I
afterward,
said FTR
yeah,
previously, so
I
here
know.
it
But
is.
like I
Here,
said, yeah,
just like I said, TK is trying to make Big Boom AJ a thing where applicable. So I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, I'm not really concerned about these two matches. It's everything else. Well, at least one of them I'm really concerned about. But with that, now we can get on to the matches that you all. Oh, hi, Tyvon. Yes, the chat is open here, actually. And as a matter of fact, you just commented, so welcome aboard. You haven't, aside from the two pre show matches, you haven't missed much here. So, with that, let's get into the main matches, what you're actually here to hear us talk about. Starting with Timeless Tony Storm versus Mercedes Mene for the AEW Women's World Championship. So, here it is, right here. It's kind of broken up into two because it ties into the next match. But let's start with the women first, shall we? So, the Owen Hart Cup is an annual professional wrestling tournament held by AEW in partnership with the Owen Hart Foundation in honor of Owen Hart. It consists of two single elimination tournaments, one men, one women's. Each of them receive a respective trophy called the Owen, a commemorative championship belt, and a world championship match at All In. Both tournament finals occurred at Double or Nothing on May 25th, 2025. Now, the women's tournament was won by Mercedes Moné, who defeated Jamie Hayter and earned an AEW Women's World Championship match against reigning champion Timeless Tony Storm. If you need a full rematch of this tournament, let's break this down, shall we, about how this happened. So, 2025 for the women's. So, Mercedes had beat Julia Hart in the quarterfinals, and then beat Athena in the semifinals, which I think was a mistake, but I think you all know where this is going, and then beat Jamie Hayter in the final at Double or Nothing. Meanwhile, Hayter had beaten Billy Starks in the quarterfinal. Hayter had beat Chris Statlander in the semifinal, the latter of whom beat Thunder Rosa in the quarterfinal. And yeah, and that's what happened. And Athena beat Harley Cameron in the quarterfinal before getting knocked out by Mercedes. I knew at some point these two women eventually had to cross paths. We all knew that this was going to happen. It was inevitable. Unfortunately, this has come at a serious cost, as right now, Mercedes Money has been on the craziest belt collecting spree ever. Not only is she the current AEW TBS champion, but she is basically the current EWA Women's Champion and a whole bunch of other things too, right now as we speak. So, if I could search current. Okay. AEW TBS Champion, CMLL Women's World Champion, EWA Women's Champion, Undisputed British Women's Championship for Rev Pro. I mean, shit. Do I need to say anything more? No, I don't think so. Now, I want to get into Tyvon's words. The two leading women of AEW right now going at it. The fan favorite versus Unstoppable Boss. Promise to be special. If Tony wants a positive reaction, give Tony the win. That's the problem. Despite what Sean Ross crap, I mean sap, oh, who am I kidding? It doesn't matter how you say it, may have you believe.
Good one.
Yeah, trust me, this woman probably has more input than you realize. And possibly all of that has led to a conglomeration of bad that's about to happen. Because Timeless Tony Storm has been a very still prominent figure in AEW's women's
She
division.
is the most important woman in wrestling in the whole bloody world of the past 2 years, man.
Like,
That's how big she is. She should be competing for men's titles at this point.
oh, fuck that.
Literally.
That would
You
be
imagine her competing.
something.
You know what? You know what would be a really good cross-gender matchup in AEW?
What?
If the patriarchy recaptured the TNT title and then Tony went after Christian.
Oh my
That
god.
feud, those egos batting against each other like Godzilla minus one. That would be something. That would be a match for an all out.
Oh
Know what I mean?
my god,
So I'm just
dude.
throwing that out there. I'm just throwing that out there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought of that before. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But back to this match.
Mm-hmm.
I I'm afraid the unthinkable is going to happen here. The way I see it though, it's not even the biggest concern because I knew this was going to happen. The minute Mercedes made it to the friggin' finals, or at the very least, beat Athena in the semifinals, I knew this was going to happen. And now I think we're all just dreading the inevitable finish that's going to happen. Which is a shame. Because it's going to. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tyvon. I know we need a positive reaction, but I don't see it happening. Dean, who do you think's going to win?
Hopefully it's Tony Storm. I want Tony Storm to win.
Is that who you're going with?
Yep.
Alright, clearly you're still thinking optimistically. Jesse is going with Mercedes. What say you, Quai Jam?
Okay, now there could go two different directions, and these both are positive finishes. So I'm not gonna drag the potential of both finishes through the mud as much as Coffee obviously did here, just with this hindsight. I think both of these women are really worthy of these titles, maybe more over Tony than Money, because they literally, to me, putting that many titles on Mercedes money is not justified, and it's literally a cry for help. It's a literal cry for help just to keep her satiated, making her into the softcore,
Kenny
lesser linear.
Omega,
Yeah, the Kenny Omega heel
belt
title
collector.
collector. So that to me, that's a cry for help. It's always been a cry for help, and always be a cry for help. So I think the money, the real money, ha ha ha, is going to. I think just to balance this out, that Mercedes keeps all of her belts except for that title. That's a at competition here. I'm going with Tony Storm because she'll have a belt and then Money will have a bunch of belts. So and the only way Money wins this if there's some type of outside ring interference in this match. And let's be honest, if Luther gets neutralized, I can't think of any other women potentially coming in third party out of the crowd to help Mercedes Money unless it's a female free agent that we don't know about. Because let's remember, in All In, the last 2 years, they have shown those free agents out in the crowd on TV in their pay-per-view. Remember this, Coffee? You remember them showing these prospects in the crowd that were free agents that were there watching the show live?
Hmm.
It could be one of those situations if Mercedes Money has a little bit of shenanigans. That's the only, but I don't think they'll go that route. But I do think they'll show a free agent out there. I can't no potential free agents come to my mind unless they go with one woman who recently was in a movie who has not been seen in AEW TV since she separated from Britt Baker. You know who I'm talking about. The lady from NWA.
Wait, hold on.
The lady from NWA, the big Colossus woman, she was in the Queen of the Ring. The movie The Queen of the Ring about the early days of yeah. You know who I'm talking about. The
uh,
big blonde lady who is built like a brick chicken house, who looks like a blonde China.
what's her name?
You got to look it up. You know what I'm talking
Why
about. It's
do
the
I have
NWA lady.
NWA lady? You
Yeah,
gotta
she was the NWA. You know what? I'll look it up for you since your fingers are all hammy right now.
just let me talk about this while
NWA lady.
Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, she was in Queen of the Ring.
Okay, maybe it'll show it here.
Camille.
Oh,
If
oh wait,
If
Camille was with
Camille has aligned
Mercedes.
herself with Mercedes Money and comes in and plays shenanigans, damage control, and attacks freaking Tony Storm at ringside and helps her win it, this will make this. She'll be returning from doing movies. That's the only eventuality I would see, but that would be the biggest surprise that they could pull. And this is all in Texas, so they could very much do that. But for my prognosticational prediction, I want Tony Storm to win.
Here's as much as I wish I could have both of your optimisms in this regard, I just can't this time. You don't
Mm.
have Mercedes win the Owen. Go through all of this. End of what? Have her come up short here? I wouldn't put it
Well,
past.
she has played, dude. She is a heel, and she is the Kenny Omega belt collector. And who did Kenny Omega during his heel run as the belt collector have at ringside playing shenanigans?
Don
Don Callis,
Callis.
one of the dirtiest snakes in the business. Okay, the literal heir to apparent to Paul Heyman. So it would not surprise me as if she ends up getting Camille to come out and help her win the title. But I think just because Tony Storm is so white hot and she's probably one of the biggest merchandise leaders in that company, I say Mercedes. I say they're going to go with Tony Storm to win this.
I wish I could have your guys' optimism, but I
Okay.
don't see it here, quite frankly. Going all this distance only to yank the rug out from the last minute here, by the way, no, I don't think so. I wouldn't put it past DK and company to go all the way with Mercedes at this rate. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm going with Mercedes Money on this one. God help us all. Well, if that was an ever-fitting segue into the next match. It's a Texas Death Match for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. Back to the Owen stuff here. The men's tournament was won by Hangman Adam Page, who defeated Will Ospreay and earned an AEW World Championship match against reigning champion Jon Moxley. And on July 2nd at Dynamite 300, it was confirmed the bout would be contested as a Texas death match. Makes sense, we're in Texas, you get it. So, if you need a recap for how Hangman got here, to make it to the finals, he beat Josh Alexander in the quarterfinals, who actually was the wild card, the Joker. And then he beat Kyle Fletcher in the semifinals, who beat Mark Briscoe in the quarterfinals. And then Hangman made it to the final. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Will Ospreay defeated Kevin Knight, who, by the way, was originally supposed to be Jay White, but with Jay White injured, he was removed and Kevin Knight replaced him. Then Will Ospreay defeated Konosuke Takeshita in the semifinals, who in the latter defeated Brody King in the quarterfinals. Ospreay and Hangman met. Yeah, they're done here. Here we are. I've gone on enough about how much I can't stand the Deaf Riders angle.
Let's put it this
Daniel,
way. This has been one of the most insufferable angles that this company has done since I'm going. You know what? I'm going to go way
Oh
back.
shit.
This is the most insufferable angle that they have done since. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. I
Oh.
know you've been collecting your hair around your
Oh.
waistline. The Nightmare Family. The Nightmare
Oh.
Collective. Sorry, the Nightmare Collective. I
Alrighty.
misspoke.
Ah, I remember that crap.
Yeah,
That
with
was
Luther
awful.
and the Awesome Kong with the hair around her waistline,
Let
being led by Brandy
let's be thankful
Rhodes.
Luther. Let's be thankful Luther is doing
He
much better
found
these
that man has
days.
got more life than the Young Bucks when it comes to this company
Oh
and
god,
employment.
watch it with him.
Incredible,
Yeah,
incredible.
but I've gone on enough about this angle and all the stupid contested bullshit that has happened. But to sum it up, we have dealt with months at the World Championship, the main championship that everyone in AEW covets, being locked in a fucking briefcase like it's in Pulp Fiction. I don't like it. Between everything else, everything just is disjointed, unorganized. Nothing seems to go right. It's just. It's been frustrating having to watch this. I'm not even gonna lie. From the moment Bryan Danielson had a plastic bag placed over his fucking face like it was the game Manhunt, or even the fucking suit board guy getting killed very early on in Child's Play 2, it's just, it's been frustrating. I have not liked this. I have tried, but every time they've tried to do something to reinvigorate it, keeping the belt on Moxley has just made it worse.
Well, let me
We
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question to you, Coffee, compared to this angle. Okay, which of the two in AEW have you found the most repugnant, annoying, recurring crap? What's more annoying? Patriarchy's Christian getting away with win after win after win at ringside back in mostly 2024, or this Death Riders angle? Which one do you think is more annoying?
well, in fairness, I don't think that's a fair comparison because
It is a fair comparison because you get emotionally worked up as equal as when it came to the patriarchy stuff that you are to the Death Riders. So it's kind of to me.
Well, that's different. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Christian Cage is playing his part as a heel too damn well, I think. Not to mention all
Yeah.
his little lackeys as well.
Hmm.
Maybe I
Yeah.
am. That to me is more or less
To
the
me,
way.
I think it's equal for you. I think it's
No, it's not.
equal frustration across
It
the
is
two.
not. Here's the thing. The patriarchy elicit a certain kind of evil heel heat that only the likes of Tommaso Ciampa, when he
Okay,
was a
okay.
heel, had
I get you
ever
now. I
came
get you what you
close
say. I get
to.
your point now.
Like, I
Okay, I
bought
get it.
his shit hook, line, and sinker. And yeah, I
Hmm.
guess I do here, but I kind of play it up a bit for laughs. Yeah, a little peek behind the action. But with the Death Riders, the whole briefcase thing, these promos that make no sense, their attempts to cause chaos don't work, and they have to drag other people into their crap, like what happened at Dynasty with the frickin' Bucks, which that made me the most angry I'd ever been at this company in general. And this made me more angry than what happened at WrestleMania 39, or close to. I went off that night when that shit happened. I was not happy at all. And right now, the way I see it, there is only one acceptable outcome. Before I go into
Hmm.
the gallery here, all I'm going to say is if this match if they don't do the right thing in this match especially, and this is the only one that I'm really concerned about at this rate, is if they don't do the right thing in this match, it's gonna be a very, very bad year for
Going to
the
be a
rest
lot
of
of
this
whimpering in that
company.
AWN stream of that pay-per-view from you, I assume.
No, well, I'm not even.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna be
Well,
there when that
you'll
happens.
you're going to sense a disturbance in the coffee force, and you're going to start like panicking in that Comic Con. I just imagine it.
Nah, Comic Con, but
Hmm?
whatever. And when,
Still, you get my point.
yeah, and when I come back on the next
Yeah,
Dynamite,
yeah.
or
Okay,
God
okay.
forbid the next
Hmm.
Raw here,
Yeah.
or God
Okay.
forbid the next Dynamite, I
Cool.
will have some not nice words for this company
Okay.
if they don't do this. Dean. Hello, Lolo.
Ground control to dumpster diving Dean.
Oh, excuse me.
Dean.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Did he fall asleep at the?
Sorry, I was giving my mom
All
something.
right.
What's up?
All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Wait,
Copy.
Hangman.
Copy.
Sorry,
It's
Hangman.
Moxley and Hangman.
Hangman.
Jesse's going with John Moxley. What say you, Kwai Jam?
What the heck, Jesse? Why?
Because he
Okay,
doesn't
just-
trust them right now.
Oh, okay. Look, I think this is the epitome of how a pay-per-view main event or a co-main event should play out. Okay, acknowledging Coffee's constant aggravation of this angle. This is when one of those insufferable angles that Tony Khan and John Moxley have parlayed upon us in long time. And this is going to be the paradigm shift. Aha! This is going to be the turning point from TNA. Aha! This is going to be the culmination of literally the longest pet project that Tony Khan, All Elite Wrestling, the Bucks have all been putting their eggs in the proverbial basket on for nearly the 6-year history of this company. Everybody originally thinks that the All Elite Wrestling was all about the Elite. No. It was all about Hangman. He had always been in the shadow of the Elite, going all the way back to their stuff with New Japan and TNA, going back and forth. Hangman has always been a very quiet man, but now we have seen the fury of Hangman. We have seen him burn down the home of Swerve Strickland. We have seen him turn and finally realize the vision of the heel that has always been in him, where the babyface has always been in him, but he's always just not paid off what he's been working so hard for. And to think, when you really think about it, this hell that this angle has put all of us through and Hangman himself through, it kind of seems a bit, in a sick way, justified. It really you know what I mean? When you really look at it, Coffee, when you look at what Hangman's gone through, and then this was the last thing on the parlay as the last chapter in the story of that Hangman, it kind of makes a lot of sense. Not to mention, may I note that this angle alone has brought new eyes and new money and new merchandising possibilities to All Elite Wrestling in the process. Not to mention, it's brought it some of the highest ratings on Warner Discovery in its history for Dynamite and Collision to this point. I'm talking MJF segment vignette high ratings, okay? And boy, is that guy really falling down the rung of being the most watched segment on Dynamite and Collision. Am I wrong? No, I'm not. I'm absolutely correct. But to bring summation to my prediction for this very highly sought after match, they are finally, and I do mean finally, like The Rock, going to turn the page. They are turning the page on Hangman. They're going to turn the page on this very dark chapter of crazy angles that this company's brought us and put us through. And they're going to be, I'm talking the ringside shenanigans of this match are going to be insane. It's going to be like anarchy in the arena, but not anarchy in the arena. You know what I'm saying? The whole AEW roster is going to be involved in this on helping suppress
It's gonna be
the
their
threat.
end game.
Yes. So I think in the end, they're going to do a lot of heavy injury hyping in this match. Okay, Hangman will get his arm targeted by everybody in this group. But I think ultimately in the end, being a Texas Death Match, being Hangman, and I know this is one in Moxley's, gimmick matches he's known for, I think in the end, the Hangman's going to reign, AEW will be saved, and everything will be good in the world, and then Moxley can take a nice long breakaway We can have the other guys in the group take a break, as much as Spock. But I think in the end, Hangman will be your new All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion after one of the longest, darkest, most annoying angles that they brought us to in the end of All In Texas 2025.
Now, before I actually give my prediction here, or rather what I want to have happen, and this is less of a prediction and more what I want to have happen, I just been brought to this attention that something one Matthew Jackson said here, and apparently credited, quote, the Death Riders do not get enough credit for what they've done in AEW over the past year. Which someone retweeted here, one of the worst storylines in company history, tanking the ratings in demo, cited for some of the worst main events with main event endings to AEW in the past 5 years. Seems like more than enough
Well,
credit.
I think I did a better job, dude. But I'm sorry, but when you look at what has happened and transpired
There's
during
like
that angle, I know. But after what has transpired, at least with All Elite Wrestling towards All Elite Wrestling, this whole angle was actually a win for
no,
AEW.
I don't believe
Well,
that
dude,
for
dude,
1 minute. The
dude,
ratings
look at
haven't
it,
been the
dude,
same.
dude. All Elite Wrestling may not operate like WWE on money, 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 but they do operate on wanting to make money and move the product forward into new territories and new TV channels and new thresholds. And this angle really helped AEW get into Max,
With
the
all
Max deal.
I don't really think so. I thought the
I
Max
do.
deal
I do.
already.
Honestly, I do.
I thought
Because
the
All Elite Wrestling is more conscious to the casual wrestling fan now than it was prior.
Now, hold on here. When the Max deal started, that was early on in this reign. And the
I know,
worst.
but what I'm saying is that the ratings, the exposure,
I don't believe that for
the TV
1 minute.
ratings have been up literally 40 to 50%
I
since the
don't
beginning of this
believe you,
angle.
actually. When you
I do
compare
believe,
them.
I
When
do
you
believe myself. I bet you if
compare.
you were to do a deep dive into the ratings since the angle
Just
started,
compare.
the TV ratings have been up rather than down.
I don't.
Even Wrestling Observer have noticed this.
Yeah, but
It was a win.
you kind of have to take
Across
it
the
with a
board for the
grain of
company, it was a
salt.
win. Now, for the fan, it may have been a downturn, a down period. But in the end, when you look at it in summation, the company was better off with this angle rather than not doing this angle. When you look at the economics, you look at the ratings, and you look at the overall exposure. It's a fact. Money does not lie,
I'm
but
not.
capitalism does.
I'm less concerned about the money and more the
Okay.
negative reputation. This is what Matt Jackson said. That apparently the crowd is up, the ratings are up, the
He's
houses are up.
absolutely correct.
Oh
He's
God, no!
absolutely
I don't
correct.
believe him. The houses, the fans are
He's literally
excited.
doing he's mixing
I'm
truth
not
with his
doing
heel
it.
character in one social
I
media
don't
post.
care at this rate. You blur the line enough, it's not gonna matter here.
Well,
I
you have been emotionally invested in it,
Oh,
so
stop it! Not in
yeah,
a
come
good
on.
way. Not in a good way, mind
Okay,
you.
okay, not in a good way, but still, the emotional response, you have a connection to it, and you're more engaged.
Oh,
And that is what pays dividends for a company in the end.
I.
Why do you think WWE is continuing to be terrible right now?
I'm
So
not
we
even.
can talk about it, we can complain about it, we can
Just
click
let me
about it,
tell
and
him.
get attention to them. All right,
Let
go
me
ahead.
just read this quote, and then I'm gonna play a little clip that sums up how I'm feeling. He says the
Okay.
crowd is up. He says the ratings are up. The houses are up. The fans are excited, and credits it because of this stupid, stupid group. In fact, that's a very fitting word to describe this. Stupid! You're so stupid! Here's what needs to happen. Hangman needs to win. That's it. There is no other choice. Hangman needs to win. That's it. That is all. Next. On a more positive note, Kazuchika Okada, the Continental Champion, versus Kenny Omega, the International Champion, will be having a winner-take-all match to unify the AEW Continental Championship and the International Championship into the inaugural Unified Championship. The problem is it's not unified because they're just going to be carrying around both belts like Roman did before they made his Unified Championship. So, at upon winning the Continental Classic 2024 at World's End on the 28th of December and retaining the Continental Championship, Kazuchika Okada was confronted by a returning
Oh,
longtime rival
cool.
in Kenny Omega, who had been out of
Mm-hmm.
action for over a year due to legitimately being diagnosed with diverticulitis, which
Oh
in
man.
kayfabe was aggravated by an attack by the Elite, Omega's former stable, whom Okada had joined by that time. Omega won the International Championship at Revolution on March 9, 2025, and following the title defense at Fyter Fest on June 4th, Omega was confronted by Okada. So this winner-take-all match was scheduled for both, scheduled for All In, and during the contract signing the following week at Dynamite Summer Blockbuster, Tony Schiavone confirmed the bout would be a championship unification match to unify the titles as the give me a minute. Excuse me.
He's stretching, ladies and gentlemen. Do
Stop
not
it.
use your imagination.
No. All right, so
All right.
in spite of this messy unification crap here, we know what these two are capable of. They're going to tear down the house. Okada's great. Omega's great. They're both going to put on what is probably going to be match of the night.
Match of the year. Match of the
that,
bloody year.
I wouldn't even be surprised at that. I mean, you can. It's Okada.
This is the
Omega.
6th time these gentlemen have met each other in a ring, regardless of where they are. 6th time.
All right, yeah. I don't even think we need to add much more to this. I mean, these two histories speak for itself.
But let me make one quick note concerning the Continental Classic title that is held by, I believe, Okada right now. That title is now. Tony Khan was asked this in the press call for all in Texas about if that title going to go away since this is a unified title. No, not true. Both the International and the Continental Classic titles will remain intact.
I already said that.
Yeah. Well, no, I just wanted to make that note. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, well, I said it here.
Well, the Continental will be vied for in November of later this year, and the
happens again.
Yeah, and the international, the international title will probably be settled in the tournament after the pay-per-view. So yeah.
So Tyvon says he may sound like a hater, but Hangman versus Moxley doesn't give off biggest match of the year vibes.
Oh, give me a break, Tyvon.
He says it would have been more dope to add Swerve in that match since he has lots of history with him. Can you let me read it?
No, this Tyvon's a heel. He's a heel.
Can you both stop it?
He's only a heel because he's assistant manager at your Taco Bell, Dean.
Oh, stop it. Look, in all seriousness, Swerve is busy with other stuff. We'll get to that when we get to that in just a minute here. So, yeah, I don't have anything else to add. This is probably going to be match of the night, if not match of the year. So, Dean?
Omega.
Jesse says Omega. How about you, Kwai Jam?
Oh, this is such a hard match. This is a generationally important match here. As much as WWE is trying to counter-program with their Gates vs. Goldberg. But anyway, that's what they're basically doing, man. It would not be surprised if both that show and the pay-per-view end up coinciding in the same time slot at the same time. I bet you there'll be some moron at WWE, the Gorilla position, going, "Hey, the match about to start, Triple H. Let's throw it to that match," for saying on that Saturday's main event. But anyway, I hijack. Like I said, this is an important match. This is the 6th only meeting between Omega and Okada, going back to their 4-match Dynasty matches they had, the 5 stars and stretch marks matches they had in New Japan. This was I dare say this, Kenny Omega was the one that gave New Japan confidence into American wrestlers. He brought the confidence. As much as Prince Devitt, a.k.a. Finn Balor for you WWE casual wrestling fans, as much as he was the first gaijin to come in since probably, I want to say Wild Pegasus, Chris Benoit, to come in and solidify Western wrestlers can draw people in Japan to the product. I think Kenny Omega really solidified it. It was Kenny Omega alone, that Okada 4 matches of majesty that they had in the latter part of the 2010s, that really put trust of the Japanese into gaijins, into investing in the future from the West, okay? Not to mention it made a lot of those Japanese wrestlers go, you know what? Maybe there is a place for me over in the United States. Look at what happened with Nakamura. Much as Nakamura has been disappearing and reappearing over and over like Muda, a lot of Japanese wrestlers have found a foothold here. Takeshita. I mean, the Kabuki Warriors. You know what I mean? It has become a foothold for them. So it's been a mutual beneficial relationship between both parts of the world and two major squats in professional wrestling. But I digress. I'm just trying to give you context here on how major this match is. But in the end, I think the winner of this match, this will be one of the hardest match finishes to pick because these guys are equally matched. And I do not want to say a draw. Because if I say a draw, you both are going to start screaming your heads off, going, "No, no, not you, Quiet Jam! Don't you say that! Don't give me that evil!" But anyway, I'm going to say, and you're not, you're gonna think this is out of character for me, but I think Okada is going to win this.
Bold.
I'm going to go with Okada because he hasn't had a big win in AEW for 2 title belts or 1 title belt for a while now. But I will say this about this match. A lot of you AEW fans who have never seen have not seen the fabled ring performance of Okada, get ready, get strapped in, have a nice beverage, make sure your family members are all tucked into bed, because you are going to see a side of Okada you have never seen before unless you were luxurious enough to get in New Japan World and go back and rewatch that 4-match dynasty between Kenny by God Omega, the Big Bout Machine, and Kazuchika, the Rainmaker Okada. Because Okada is going to be running at 1,000 billion% as much as Kenny Omega does in his sleep. You're going to see a side of Okada you have never seen before in this match, and I think that's more exciting than this match together, but I think the winner is going to be the Rainmaker.
Bold. Very bold.
Yes.
For all that crap Kenny Omega has gone through over the years, and especially and more recently with all of this, I'm going with him on this one here.
Wow, you're going with Omega. Okay.
So I'm going with
Two
Omega.
against me. Okay.
Hey,
this could be 2 against me. I like it. I like this.
I won't be mad whoever wins because I
this
know
is some mojo-ish gumption. I like it. You guys are now bold and I'm bold. We're both bold.
All right, and to follow up on Tyvon's other stuff here, he said, not saying the match will be bad, but going into it with too much hope can kill off some of the enjoyment. I don't have a lot of hope for them to do the right thing in Moxley versus
Much like
Page
Superman by
Tyvon.
James Gunn in movie theaters that is currently
gosh.
out right now, AEW is the only hope in the wrestling industry right now. Okay? They've been hope the whole time for 6 years. That's all I got to say.
I don't have faith in them doing the right thing. I already said what needs to happen. There is no other way. But I'm going with Omega here. Next. So, men's casino gauntlet for a future AEW World Championship.
This is another crazy match, man. Crazy.
And our participants, well, Mark Briscoe and MJF will be the first 2 entering. And we're also going to have Bandito, Brody King, Mystico, and, oh, God. Oh, God. God, no.
What?
Ricochet.
Ricochet.
Do I have to say it?
No,
Should I do it?
not even. Both of you shut it. Apparently, if
Wait, what do you call him? Wait, what do you call him with that edit thing?
I just did it. See? There you go. I'm done.
More like, aka Mr. Get JD away from House of Glory. If
I know, but
to.
I made such a great thing. This is like my 3rd great pro wrestling joke. Is this Ricochet thing?
I don't care. I
right.
don't want to see his ugly mug anymore as I could help it.
Well, there's still some surprises. Let's put this. This has been the 2nd best thing from AEW as of recently. They've really revitalized the Gauntlet match. It's just the unexpectability of the Gauntlet match.
Let's do this. On the June 21st episode of Collision, it was announced the Casino Gauntlet match would be held at All In, and it subsequently revealed there would be a men's and women's versions of the match, with respective winners getting future World Championship matches. 2 4-way matches, one each for the men and the women, occurred on the June 25th episode of Dynamite to determine the number 1 entrants respectively. Mark Briscoe defeated Bandito, Konosuke Takeshita, and Roderick Strong, and Chris Statlander defeated Athena, Thunder Rosa, and Willow Nightingale. On July 2nd at Dynamite 300, the Hurt Syndicate's MJF defeated Anthony Bowens, AR Fox, and Brody King in a 4-way match to become the number 2 entrant in the men's gauntlet. And on the July 9th episode of Dynamite, Megan Bayne defeated Queen Aminata, Tay Mello, and Tekla, or however you say it, in a four-way
Yeah, it's
match.
Tekla. They're going with Tekla.
Yeah,
It's Tekla.
God, even though that's not how it looks. It was a four-way match, number 2 entrant in the women's gauntlet. Oh, fuck, I read everything sooner. We'll just jump into that immediately afterwards here then. I don't really have anything else to add. Other than I think at least either Mark or maybe MJF probably benefits the most of all fairness in getting a future world championship match. Because I can't see them giving it to Mystico, Brody King, or Bandito, and damn sure not Ricochet. Mark Briscoe could be a scrappy underdog ordeal, but I don't know, really. I don't know. Who you got, Dean?
JF.
Ah, and what? Oh, wait, Jesse also says MJF. What say you, Kwai Jam?
Oh boy,
Oh,
this like I said, this is going to be probably the second best match of the night. This is going to be a stealer of a match because it's the gauntlet match, and like I prefaced at the beginning of this prognostication, the AEW has revitalized the gauntlet match. Of all the match styles that they have just innovated and excelled, we all originally thought it was going to be the War Games template with Anarchy in the Arena and Blood and Guts, and you know what I mean. That was the match that they innovated more than NXT could have ever done. So they've really brought the Gauntlet match by the unpredictability, by the masterful unexpected wrestlers that showed up from either New Japan, CMLL, or TNA in some cases with Cardona. So let's remember that. So I think the most obvious thing with lots of ringside shenanigans, possibly with the Hurt Syndicate being involved in this at ringside, playing damn, you know what I mean, stopping people and whatever. I think ultimately the next stud to go after the world title is, and ultimately he's better than you and you know it. The winner of this match will be MJF.
out of everyone announced, the most likely one will probably be MJF.
MJF, freaking enough, they
Like I
have to. He's
said,
the only option.
like I
He's the only
said,
option.
well, I mean, not exactly, but the way I see it,
Exactly. Everybody else is in other matches that night, so it has to
well,
be. But I do think. Let me say this: if they do all the eliminations as I expect, it's going to come down to MJF and Briscoe. They're going to be the last two in the ring,
we'll see
at
what
least fighting
happens here.
for the finish. For the
Yeah,
finish.
we'll see what happens. So I'm out of all of these, I'm going with MJF on this one.
Yeah.
Next, and the ladies here also get their choice. But all we have so far is Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne. I could see some of the other women who didn't qualify initially returning. I mean, Mark Briscoe defeated Bandito, and Bandito came back, and MJF defeated Brody King, and Brody King's gonna be in there. So who's to say they don't include some of the other women? Like, I could easily see from the other list here from Megan Bain's Fatal 4-Way, Tekla could be in there.
Mm-hmm.
And from Chris Statlander's Fatal 4-Way, I could see, well, I would hope Athena would be in there, but then again, she might be wrestling at, what was it? Isn't there like a ROH show happening that weekend as well or something?
Yeah.
Or
Death before Dishonor. Death
no,
before Dishonor.
I thought it was Super Card of
Supercard.
Honor.
Supercard Honor. Sorry, Supercard of Honor.
Which itself is happening in the evening as well.
It's
So,
happening right now. It's on right now.
oh, it's
Yeah.
you mean today? Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
it's today.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
never
today.
mind. Different days, and Athena is gonna wrestle Thunder Rosa, so maybe we'll see them both show up in there. I don't know, but
They could show TK did say
the
in the
pool is more
press
limited though
conference
right
that
now. So if you guys want to go wild with this, go ahead. Dean, you're first.
Athena.
Jesse had to be determined, but if I had to guess from someone that from the people he'd announced, he'd probably pick Chris Statlander. But I think he'd either go either Athena or Willow Nightingale. What say you, Kwai Jam?
Oh, we're in the women's gauntlet, right?
Yes.
I I'm gonna go. This doesn't really quite a lot. Who is the second rung hottest woman in all of AEW and Ring of Honor? Easily Athena. They're gonna probably have it come down the finish be between Athena and Tekla since they're I mean God, Tekla's been on fire. She's been one of the most impressive debuts, as much as coffee. It's been one of the most impressive debuts of a talent off Stardom. Okay, this side of Megan Bain. But I'm definitely saying Athena. She needs this. She
Assuming she
absolutely needs this.
shows up in the first place
Yeah,
here. We could
assuming
all be
assuming.
eating our words. By the way, a couple comments that Tyvon said. War games better than Blood and Guts? Debatable. Oh, and oh god, he really had to say that? Don't, Tyvon. You know I like you and all, but watch it, dude. He says he wants Ricochet to win just to piss me off.
Well, see,
Be careful. Oh god, you're don't even see.
Ricochet!
Look what you got him doing now. I hope you're happy. From the two announced, I'm gonna go with Chris Statlander just to play it safe. Ah, crap. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks or Fox or whatever. Matt and Nick Jackson. Now, if Ospreay and Strickland lose, they cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship for a year. But if the Bucks lose, they'll be stripped of their EVP titles. At Dynasty... Oh, God, no. God, help me. So, Dynasty this year. That ending. That utter, awful, terrible excuse for an ending that completely angered me to my core. Like I
I'm
had
just.
never been as a wrestling fan before happened.
I remember that.
It made no fucking sense. It made no
Hmm.
sense back then, and even though it was months ago, and any explanation to try basically to explain it since has not made sense. Nor has it made dollars, mind you, despite what some people will have you believe. So, Strickland had to feud with both Moxley and his Death Rider stable and those jerks, which led to an Anarchy in the Arena match at Double or Nothing, which Strickland's team won. And for the record, by the way, Strickland's team consisted of, let's see, Kenny Omega, Willow Nightingale, and the Ops, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata. Yeah, what a wild ordeal. So, at Dynamite Summer Blockbuster on June 11th, the Bucks renewed their rivalry with Strickland and attempted to super kick him with the shoes that had thumbtacks encrusted on the soles following Strickland's match with Will Ospreay, which was itself about to send me over the edge, but thankfully Ospreay moved in front of Strickland and took the fall. On June 25th episode of Dynamite, Ospreay and Strickland challenged the Bucks to a tag match at All In, but they refused. Cowards. Dynamite 300 on July 2nd, they challenged again this time, but added the stipulation that if they would lose their EVP titles. But if Strickland and Ospreay lost, neither would be able to challenge the World Championship for a year, and the Bucks accepted. So there's two ways this can go. We can take out two contenders who probably, well, Swerve has had runs with the world belt, but not so much Will Ospreay. We can take out two good contenders and one who desperately needs a main event run sometime. We take them out of contention for a year when it already feels like there's not a heck of a whole lot. Or we basically strip the Bucks of their EVP titles, presumably give them to Swerve and Ospreay, and we have a sort of Stone Cold being in charge for a bit ordeal. Remember that basically after the infamous reveal of Vince McMahon
You
as
hit
the
the nail
Higher
right on the
Power?
head, son.
Yeah,
Give me a hell yeah.
where Linda McMahon basically took Vince away from everything because, well, essentially by doing this, Vince orchestrated the fucking kidnapping of his own daughter, essentially, and all of this crap as well, despite him having to play straight face when Stephanie was about to get freaking crucified on national television. Yeah, what a wild and terrible choice still that haunts that angle to this day. Aw, son of a bitch, indeed. And now we could be not in the same degree here, but the same boat here. I've been tired of the Bucks ever since they came back. They were barely back for even 1 second, and the moment those lights came up, I was just instantly done. Just nope. I don't know. There could be some potential comedic bits with Strickland and Ospreay, assuming they get the EVP titles, but that's not even certain. Honestly, it just seems like we're putting them on here for the sake of putting them on here, when they probably should be saving their energy for the real big ordeal in the Texas Death Match. Okay, he's getting food. Quijam will be back in a second. So I'll have to check. Wasted match. Will and Swerve could be doing more if they're your two biggest non-champion stars. I agree, Tyvon. I agree with that 110%. All right, Dean, who you got?
Big Dean. What match? I'm sorry. What
This
match?
is Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young
Oh,
Bucks.
Swerve and Will.
Ooh, we're going with the choice that allows them to have some fun. All right, and Jesse is going with Swerve and Osprey. I don't know if you're back yet, Jam. I guess not here. All right, I'll give some thoughts on this. If the Bucks actually lose, I could see them potentially losing everything, quite frankly, and having a fall to lose it all angle where they feel like they finally have lost sight of the picture. They realize the power got to their head. That could create for some interesting television and maybe work to rehab them to the Bucks that people know and used to love before they became a bunch of corporate stooges. On the other hand, I think that would be asking too much of Tony Khan. I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see them lose it, the one thing they claim to, and we could have good television. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I hate to look at the betting odds for this stuff anymore because I really just don't pay attention to it since I'm not active with predictions, at least in the way I used to be here. But this is one of those times I have to look and see. Well, right now the Bucks are slightly edging out as favorites as negative 130 against the team of Osprey and Swerve at negative 110. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Imagine a fatal four-way between Swerve, Will, Moxley, and Hangman. Wow. That would give us even a better chance, basically, of getting that freaking belt off of John Moxley. You're thinking smart, Tyvon. You are. God, if you weren't so busy, I'd have you on here explaining all of this. Hmm. Screw it. Let's go wild and have some fun on deep thoughts on several other bits. I'm going with Swerve and Osprey. You back, Quiet Jam?
Yes, I'm back.
All right. I just gave my thoughts while you were away, so now I leave the floor to you.
So this is Swerve and Osprey versus who?
The Young Bucks.
Oh boy. This is this. Yeah, this is the gimmick. This is the one with the stipulation that if the Bucks
Yes.
win, they cannot contest. Either of them cannot contest for the world title in 1 year. I think that is a great stipulation. That's one of the best stipulations in any pay-per-view that AEW's done. That actually makes a lot of sense. I don't know where Tony Khan got that idea, but that was a genius idea for these two. But for the sake of this match and my prognostication of my peculiarness, I honestly I think the babyface is going to win this one because the Bucks need to lose power. Remember, we've seen the Golden Elite start losing a lot of power slowly. Hangman drifted away, Okada drifted away, and now the Bucks not being EVPs anymore. And that the two now does this stipulation mean that the two of them will become EVPs?
I'm
Osprey.
assuming that, but they haven't said it.
Maybe.
But I'm
I don't think they
assuming.
are. I don't think they are. I think to bring the status quo back to AEW, as much as the Death Riders angle has been hanging like a sort of Damocles over the company, I think to suppress the final side of the Golden Elite having power, I think Osprey and Strickland will win this, and the babyfaces will win, and it'll be good conquering evil yet again, and the Bucks no longer have the power.
Looks like we're in unanimous agreement here. Next, Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher for the TNT Championship. At Dynasty in April, Adam Cole defeated Daniel Garcia to win the AEW TNT Championship. After Double or Nothing in May, Cole began feuding with Kyle Fletcher over the title, and Cole defeated Fletcher via disqualification on the May 28th episode of Dynamite. And on July 5th at Collision 100, Fletcher defeated Garcia to become the number one contender. I don't have anything else to add. Adam Cole needs to get the hell out as soon as possible. I don't think this is doing much good, but I just feel bad for him. That's all. I really do. All right, Dean, who you got?
Who is it? What is it?
It's Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher.
Fletcher.
You going with Kyle Fletcher?
Really?
Whoa, okay. And Tyvon just said, we need to stay in touch more so I can let y'all know whenever I'm free. Well, if you're ever free, you know where to message me, dude.
Call the keyboard, buddy.
Stop it. You know where to message me, dude. And yeah, he says he does not like this version of Kyle. I'm indifferent. Anyways, Jesse says Adam Cole. What say you, Qui Jam?
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Adam Cole has lost his mojo.
Oh shit.
He's literally lost his mojo. Some wrestlers do lose a lot of mojo and significance after consecutive injuries. Need I talk about CM Punk? No, I don't need to talk about CM Punk because he is no longer an element in this company. Okay? CM Punk lost a lot of energy, but he still got the animation. Okay? Adam Cole, he doesn't have a very strong body. You know what I mean? And some wrestlers, it takes multiple injuries for them to realize that they are not ring compliant anymore. They can't ring. That does not mean they can't wrestle. It's just what's more important: their health, their life, or the ring. What's more important? And obviously, Cole has worked his ass off to come back to this AW ring. He probably has one of the best contracts in the company. But Fletcher, on the other hand, that man is a stud. Kyle Fletcher has been a stud. He has been the heir apparent to Ospreay more than anybody realizes, okay? The man can promo. The man is stupendous in the ring. Not to mention, one of the greatest brain busters I've ever seen anybody do this side of Ospreay. So when I say Fletcher and Ospreay are night and day, they literally are night and day. They are the same side of the freaking beautiful coin, okay? So for the sake of giving Adam Cole a rest, having him reassess everything, take some time away from the ring, and try to find that spark if he can even find it. And I don't think he doesn't have the look anymore. He doesn't have the smile that Shawn Michaels had back in 1995. He lost his smile and he had to step away. So Adam Cole needs to have a Shawn Michaels moment here, okay? And I say that the TNT title goes on the more than worthy Kyle Fletcher.
You know what? I don't really care about this match, and when you put it like that, it makes sense. I'm going with Kyle Fletcher on this one. I really don't give a damn about this match, which is sad, but what are you gonna do? Okay, this is a it's a triple threat tag team match, or three-way, for the World Tag Team Championship. It's the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, versus Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, and the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. So, is there any background maybe on Fightful, or... No, but this is on somewhere else entirely. Ah, there it is. So, what's the deal here? Christian and Wayne are trying to become the first father and son tag team champions in AEW history, which is not how that works. It's not how that works because these two are not blood related. But hey, we'll throw logistics out the window for a minute just because it'll get more heat. And they're going to get their chance here. Who you got, Dean?
A match.
This is the three-way World Tag Team Championship match.
Syndicate.
Alright, Jesse says the Hurt Syndicate, that Christian will eat the pin and Nick Wayne leaves him. But I feel like it's gonna be the reverse. Nick Wayne will probably eat the pin. And yeah, they'll probably still be his bitch, but whatever. What say you, Qui Jam?
They have put a lot of meticulous. Now let's look at this realistic, fourth dimensionally speaking. Okay, the patriarchy have not been much of a force over the last few months. Okay, on the AEW product. Okay, they're kind of coming back late more than the other tag teams here. Not to mention this Jet Speed tag team and this build of them. Man, we steal the titles. They have been flat as hell, dude. It's been nobody cares. They're the ones that nobody really cares about as much as the Hurt Syndicate. People think the Hurt Syndicate nobody cares about. No, they these two studs, these two high prospects that come to AEW have literally fallen on their own tag team bloody swords. And I never thought I'd say that about Speedball Mike Bailey, but he literally has. And that's not the detriment of the two gentlemen. It's just these guys are not built to be a tag team. They are built to be singles wrestlers. Okay. This is like it's just like if you put Danhausen and Sky and Julia Hart into a gender tag team. Okay, they both cancel each other out, so nobody cares. So yes, I went there. I don't care. And in the case of this, the I am more excited with a patriarchy holding the titles and people running after them way more than the Hurt Syndicate holding these titles and people running after them. If you want an example of what I'm talking about, remember the Jet Steam tag team? How crappy that build was of them going after the tag titles and nobody cared, and it greatly diminished their real estate as talent in AEW? I think I speak truth here. So the most obvious option, which I do think there's going to be a lot of ringside shenanigans involved with the the mother of Nick Wayne being out there. And let's not forget about Kip Sabian, or whatever his name is, the other brother, sort of the Eddie Haskell in this situation. But I think the winners are going to be the patriarchy. It makes the most sense in the world because it's more fun having other people running after them, and Christian, not to mention, is god tier level promo. God tier level. He's as good as Tony Storm. Yes, I said it. Christian is as good as Tony Storm in his sleep. So the most likely finish here is that the patriarchy reclaim the tag team titles.
That could be some interesting opportunities in illicit.
Yeah, I mean, they're more interesting than what the Hurt Syndicate's done so far.
I don't know, honestly. I really don't. And let's not even count Jet Speed. They're a non-factor in all of this. Again, I'm not really concerned about the tag division. It's not.
They might as well call themselves Jet Set Radio just to steal the copyright.
Yeah, at this rate, I'm not even concerned about this match here. Again, the tag division's not what it used to be. I'm going with the patriarchy. I don't care. Next.
Ladies and gentlemen, your ears are not deceiving you. He picked the patriarchy.
Oh, wait. Did I say... Yeah, this is the last match here. The Ops. Katsuyori Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Samoa Joe against the Death Riders. Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, the Bum, and Gabe Kidd for some stupid reason. Okay. Hops are going to defend the Trios titles against the Death Riders. So Claudio and Yuta issued the challenge to the Ops on the July 5th episode of Collision. Gabe Kidd returned on Wednesday's AEW Dynamite to help the Death Riders against the Ops. This is not the first time he did this. In the build to the Anarchy Arena at Double or Nothing, he appeared to help out the Death Riders for some dumb reason. And the Ops defeated Claudio, Yuta, and Moxley on the April 16th episode of Dynamite to win the Trios titles. Moxley had to replace Pac, who was ruled out with an injury. Okay, we do not need more titles on the Death Riders at this rate. The point is to not have any more of them. Quite frankly, there's only one piece that needs to fall, and quite frankly, giving them back any more power is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. They don't even have Pac in their corner because he's out. Why would you do this? Why would you put it back on them? It makes no sense. Alright, Dean, bring it on.
What match are you on?
It's the Ops versus Death Riders and Gabe Kidd.
Ops. Although I do like Gabe Kidd. I do,
Yeah.
But
he deserves better. Jesse's going with the Ops. What say you, Kwai Jam?
I hope to God that this match happens before the Moxley match. Because if it happened after the Moxley match, it might be a little more funny.
I think the technical match is probably going to make
I know, what I'm saying is, if that had happened, if that had happened, it'd be incredibly hilarious. Because it'd be more salt in the wound for them. But, Look, the oops, and that's what they're called. They're called the oops. They're not the ops. They're the
No, no,
oops.
no.
Because obviously Tony Khan spoke offhand, going, "You know what? You three guys need to be together. We're going to call you the ops." And then Tony Khan immediately corrected himself, going, "Oops, I didn't mean that." And then Samoa goes, "I don't care, man. You're the boss. Let's run with it." And then Katsuyori Shibori in the corner takes out his cell phone and goes, "I think Tony has a good idea. Let's go with it." That's me doing a cell phone voice, by the way,
Wow.
because you know how Shibata talks through cell phone auto voice. But anyway, for the sake of the finishing of this extremely long podcast episode, obviously the Death Riders are on the decline now. So I say go with the oops. Go with the oops.
And I agree. 100% have them retain. Don't drag this out any longer. Ops will retain. And with that, that's all she wrote. So, I've got plans to get this all taken care of tomorrow. So people will be taking care of stuff while I'm away. I'll be keeping tabs on things throughout the course of the day. And I hope everything is A-okay. I want to see
And I hope everybody this weekend goes to see James Gunn's Superman, because it is an extremely good movie, and it is incredibly the movie of the summer.
And I leave you with Tyvon's final words. I want to see Britt in WWE. She carried the AEW women's division and gave the keys to Tony and Mercedes. Now let her do something in another stacked division that can also showcase her talent. We'll see, Tyvon. We'll see. So thank you, Dean. Thank you, Quijam, for sticking with me throughout all this. Thank Jesse for giving me his predictions for the shows he couldn't show up for. And the next podcast we do will be in 3 weeks. And I'm very, very thankful for that. That will be SummerSlam. August is thankfully going to be much easier to deal with, so yeah, I don't have anything else to add. I'm
Oh my
done.
god, guys! This Coffee's favorite wrestler, Sammy Guevara.
Shut up!
Not to
I'm
mention his
done.
favorite wrestler's wife, and Tay Mello.
Oh, stop it. I'm done. We'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for watching. Please be kind to each other. And make sure you get plenty of rest here.
Yeah, because you need all that rest for when you go see Superman from James
Oh
Gunn.
God, you are such a corporate kill. It's not even funny right now.
It's a fun movie.
I'm sure it will be. Jesse
It,
likes it.
it
by the
is.
way.
There's a will. It is.
Well, Jesse saw it the other day here at a later screening, and he loved
Oh,
it.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you let him out of the house so early. But
Will
okay.
you stop it. I'm done here. Alright, good night, everybody. We'll see you in 3 weeks for SummerSlam.